A truly great rugby player is one who can play at the highest level with distinction and influence the outcome of a game. And whilst it might be foolhardy to speculate on whether a player will become a legend within the lifespan of his career, Keith Wood, with his trademark shaven head and his unquenchable spirit, is already sure of lasting fame as a player. He will also be remembered for the generosity of spirit he showed to his younger teammate Brian O'Driscoll in the wake of O'Driscoll's stunning three-try performance in Paris this millennium year.
It was a day when I suppose Brian O'Driscoll became a star very quickly. And it isn't as if he hadn't shown the potential beforehand. And I've looked at that match on a few occasions because you want to keep all these good things. You know, you want to remember all the little details. If Brian O'Driscoll hadn't scored 3 tries on that day, in my mind, he was still heads and shoulders above anybody else on the pitch. And that's a pleasing thing, because we don't want to just get down to the point of saying, well, he scored tries, he had a good game. He was brilliant in every facet of his play. And that is, I love to see the fact that an Irishman can play to that level.
The guy of the moment, I think, who's made the biggest impact on me as a player, the here and now, I think, is Brian O'Driscoll. It's the guy who's come out of nowhere and certainly burst on the scene as a world class. And the potential for him is phenomenal. I mean, where he'll end up, God only knows, but he's got all the potential to be a superstar of rugby. He's just incredibly skillful and incredibly confident about what he does, and has got a great vision about the game for a young age. He's a great understanding of what he's trying to do.
He can pass it long and short off both hands. He can pass the ball beautifully out of a tackle. When he's really under pressure, he seems to be able to get the ball somehow magically sometimes into space for someone running onto it. So his hands are magical. But I think added to that is his explosive pace. And I think you've got an absolute handful.
But picked up by O'Driscoll. Here he goes again. Brian O'Driscoll is in for a magnificent hat-trick. What a try by Brian O'Driscoll. And Ireland are right back in it with 7 minutes to go.
Hopefully Brian O'Driscoll will be talked about like the great legends of rugby, like Michael Gibson, like Ollie Campbell, like Tony Ward, like Willie John McBride. I mean, there's so many of them in the history of Irish rugby.